Okay, so welcome to week 3 of online learning. It's really good to see you guys. I hope that your weekend went well, your long weekend. If you are missing grades in the grade book, if you've turned in your work late, give me a couple of days to get that late work in. But if you haven't done last week's work, make sure you hit the hub. You'll be losing 10 points a day, but given that there are no major grades this 9 weeks, each one of these assignments is super important. You'll want to make sure that you're getting those in so that you can have a good grade for the semester. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. This week we're talking about solving log equations. So that could be the title of your notes if you're taking notes along with me. And today on the notes we're going to be taking a look at 4 different strategies that we use. So this week we're actually solving equations, so it's going to be kind of algebra heavy. So if you traditionally have had trouble in the past with things like, I don't know, completing the square, factoring, all of those kind of algebra heavy things where we're moving stuff around an equal sign, then this week might be one that requires a little bit more focus from you. So let's go ahead and jump in. So the first strategy that we can use in a log equation is, I've sort of marked it out here. It's where both sides of the equation are logs with the same base, right? So you can see that here I've got like log with a base of b of x is equal to log with a base of b of y. Now what we're going to take advantage of here is that basically what you can do is log both sides, and what will happen is you actually get rid of the logs. And so we can, because these bases again are the same, if your bases match, then we can say that x is equal to y. So that's going to be something that we're going to take advantage of a lot, quite a bit on the examples that we have this week. So let's take a look at this example right here. We've got log base 7 of x squared plus 5 is equal to log base 7 of negative 6x. All right, so what we can do is, because we've got 2 arguments that are both arguments of the same log, those 2 arguments have to be equal. So we can simplify this by basically just getting rid of a log, right? And so this, being able to do this should be one of your goals, right? As you're looking at these equations, get rid of those logs, set it up to where it's 2 logs that are equal to each other, and then eliminate the log from both sides, all right? Now, this is a solving a quadratic equation here, right? So I think we can solve this one by factoring will be the easiest way. So I'm going to set this equal to 0 by, I'm going to add 6x to both sides. So now I've got x squared plus 6x. Plus 5 is equal to 0. And then I'll be able to factor this left side into 2 factors. And then we'll solve for 0, and we'll be able to have 2 answers. All right. So I think this factors into x plus 5 and x plus 1. All right. This is one that teachers like to use a lot, where the b term is just one more than the c term, and that makes it really easy to kind of make an example if you're trying to write problems, right? So this is one that teachers like to use a lot because it's just the c term times 1. So 5 times 1 will give you that last term, and then of course 5 plus 1 gives you that middle term. So these are both equal to 0, so your answer is not 5 and 1. It's actually going to be negative 5 and negative 1, right? Because x plus 5 equals 0, and x plus 1 equals 0. Remember, what we're taking advantage of here is something called the zero product property, and what that says is if I'm multiplying 2 things, so like this binomial, and the answer is 0, well, the only way for that to happen is for at least one of these things to be 0, right? And so there's 2 possibilities for the answer. Either this one could be 0, and that's what we're looking at here. So this means that, if I subtract 1 from both sides, x being equal to negative 1, that's an answer there. All right, and then my other answer is going to be, subtracting 5 from both sides, and so x equals negative 5. So I've got 2 answers here, and that is a good example of number 1. Again, what we did there is we took advantage of the fact that the logs were the same on both sides with the same base, and we can kind of get rid of the log. All right, so now what I'm going to do is sort of jump ahead. There's going to be a jump in the video because we're going to work on the next strategy, and just for time's sake, I'm going to fill out some of the notes first. All right, so there's a little bit of time magic there. So our next strategy is going to be walk it around. All right, so this is very similar to what we did the first week of the online learning of the 9 weeks, where we were working with logs and just sort of understanding this relationship here, that log with a base of b to the with an argument of x equals y. We can rewrite that as sort of an exponential, right? And I really like on this website, this is the Purple Math website, I really like this little animation that they have, so you can take a look at this animation. I really like that. I think it's a good way of watching the x and y move, and then watching that b move from the base of the log to the base of the exponent. So we're going to work two examples here. These are really, really simple. Basically, we're just going to walk these around, get rid of the log by turning it into an exponential. So walking it around, this is going to be the base of 3 to the x power equals 27. All right. Now, what I think you can. One good strategy here for solving this is just to think of what exponent is it that when I take it to the third power is going to give me 27, or what exponent can I take 3 to give me 27? Another way is to kind of convert, break down this 27. Right, we can break it down prime factorization as 3 3's there, and so what we have here is 3x equals 3 to the third power. And so here now we can sort of see that that x and 3 are the same thing. So x is equal to 3 in this example. Okay, now let's look at example number 2. Here, instead of having a missing exponent, now the x, or the missing number, is in the log, and so this one may be even easier. Walk it around, right? And so now we've got 2 to the negative 3 power is equal to x, and now we can just put this in the calculator, or we can just work it by hand. So this is the same as 1 over 2 to the third. All right, so don't forget that a negative exponent creates a fraction. 2 to the third is 8, so we're looking at 1/8 is what our answer is. That's our missing number. That's x. All right. Okay, so another quick magic here. I'm going to pause my recording, set up for the third strategy. So here we go. All right, so our third strategy is going to be to use those log properties. All right, so remember that we have 3 log properties. I've got the Khan Academy page pulled up over here so you can get those down. We did these 2 weeks ago, but good to remind yourself of the product rule, the quotient rule, and the power rule. So we can use those log properties to solve equations. So here's an example here. This one we've got logs, this time with a base of 10, right? We know that this has a base of 10 because that's what's missing. All right, and we've got like 12x, log of 12x minus log of 5 is equal to 24. So that's what they've got set up for us. So what we want to do here is take advantage of our log property rule. All right, so our log property rule is going to be a quotient rule here because we've got a subtraction. So this is going to be the same thing as log of 12x over 5. All right, so our quotient rule tells us that when we've got something that's subtracted, 2 logs are subtracted, we can combine those into being the same log, and that's going to be equal to 24. And actually, I'm realizing that I set up this problem wrong, so this one is actually going to be a log of 24 there at the end. So let me scratch that out here. I apologize for that if you're following along. All right. Okay. And this way we'll be able to use that log rule. I want to show you that eliminating the log again with a base of 10. So again, quick change here. We made both sides have a log, so that 24, instead of just being a 24, we turned it into log 24. Okay. So now, because both of these are logs with the same base, now we can take away those logs and sort of just say that the arguments are equal to each other. So 12x over 5 is equal to 24. All right. Since this fraction can't be reduced, to get rid of the 5, I'm just going to choose to multiply both sides by 5. All right. And so 5 and 5 will cancel out there. And so now I've got 12x is equal to 24 times 5 is going to be 5 less than 125, so 25 times 5 is 125. But we're going to have 5 less than that since it's 24, so it's going to be 120. All right, and now we can divide by 12, and we'll have that x is equal to 10. All right, so big idea there, use the quotient rule. You see a subtraction sign, we're going to use the quotient rule. Had this been an addition sign, we would use the product rule. You know, and then the power rule, of course, is where we can move exponents out in front to be a multiplier. I apologize for the mistake there. Again, both sides should have been logs. That way we can use the log rule. Trust me, you don't want to try to solve that equation the other way, because that would require you to take 10 to the power of 24. So that's going to be a pretty large number, not really going to work out for us. Okay, so now I'm going to set up for the fourth one, which is going to be introducing you guys to ln, or a natural log. So give me a second to get that set up. Okay, so our last example here, we are going to be working with a natural log. So a natural log is something that that we have talked briefly about in the past. A natural log is a log where the base, so that base number, is the number e. Now, e is a number that is used a lot in statistics. You can see over here on the side, it's about 2.718288183. We have solved for e in class before when we were doing compounding interest. E is the amount, or it's like a multiplier, a coefficient for how much you earn on an investment after 1 year of compounding interest at 100%. So it's sort of this this magic number that's used a lot in statistics. Anyway, since logs are also used in statistics a lot, it makes sense that we would have a log that is related to e. And so scientists and statisticians have come up with a way of just marking it. So this right here is a natural log. We call that a natural log. Okay, and it's the same thing as log with a base of e. All right, and remember that e is 2.718288183. Okay, all right, so let's practice with this problem right here. I'm going to solve this one two ways. The first way we're going to do it is using log properties, and then we'll do it maybe an easier way, and we'll see that we're going to get the same answer in both. All right, so solving this one using log properties, what we can do is take this 2 that's sort of out here as a multiplier, and we can put it as a square on the argument, right? So that will look like this: ln of 3x squared equals 4. Okay, so now if we kind of walk this one around, right, if we kind of take this e, remember that there's an e right here, and we walk it around, all right, so we'll have e to the 4th equals this 3x squared. So let's write that out. So e to the 4th equals 3x squared. Okay. All right, so now to work this out, so 3x, remember it's like 3x in parentheses squared. So that's actually going to be the same thing as 9x squared, all right, because this, remember, is 3x times 3x. So that's how we get 9x squared. All right, so now we can actually leave this as e to the 4th for a second. You know, we can come up with a number answer if we want, but this is actually an okay way to leave it. So what we want to do is divide by 9. All right, divide by 9. That'll get rid of the 9 in front of the x. So now we've got that x squared is equal to e to the 4th over 9. And then we can take the square root. So now we've got x squared equals e to the 4th over 9. And then we can take the square root, and we can just take the square root of both sides. And so our answer will be that x is equal to the square root of e to the 4th over 9. All right. Now remember that e is just a number, so you could type that into the calculator. You could type in, you know, e square root of e to the 4th over 9. I think you get something like 2.463 or something like that. All right, and so that's going to be our answer right there. Okay. So the second way to do this one is just to leave it in its form instead of using the log property to move it around. And I actually think that this is the easier way to do it. Why not just divide both sides by 2, right? That's a better way to get rid of that 2. So now I'm left with ln of 3x is equal to 2, because 4 divided by 2 is 2, all right? So now I can walk this around. Remember that there's an e right here, so this will be e squared equals 3x, All right, and so all we need to do now is just take the square root, all right, or I'm sorry, not take the square root, we just need to divide by 3, and so we get that x is equal to e squared over 3.